Hello, stream. We're back for like a couple weeks, maybe, until we're away again because BrotherLeb's living situation is changing, which is cool, but also means that we're kind of like in between things here. But until that time, we're going to, get ourselves going here. So today we are flying at Bodo Airfield. This is our first flight of our sets of 3 for Bodo. Because both of us have done recce flights, we're not going to do a recce flight for the two of us here. Do we concur on that?
Yep.
Okay. Quick briefing. The kneeboard was provided a while ago, so do you have that with you?
I do. I'm looking at it.
Okay. And just can you confirm to me the crowd, the away from crowd heading, please?
Away from crowd heading is 168.
Perfect. Okay. That is the correct. That's in fact the correct kneeboard because the other ones the headings were off, and so was the center point. So center point will be what is located in the DTC, which actually, do you have the DTC for this?
I do. I built one.
Okay. And it's with what was on that kneeboard?
Yeah, I use the kneeboard.
Okay. Just to confirm, can you read to me the longitude and latitude as it states on the waypoint screen?
Yep, got it. So Bodo Airfield, November 6716.152. Echo 01421.916, elevation 283.
Correct. All right. We are going to be taxiing from the ramp. It'll be a left turn, then a right turn on to Alpha. We will
Whiskey, I think, is that taxiway.
Okay.
The long taxiway.
All right. So it'll be Whiskey, hold short. I believe it's
Alpha is
the
short taxiway that we're going for is Alpha. So it'll be Whiskey to Alpha, hold short 07.
Yes. So Whiskey Alpha, hold short 07. At which point we will do our section takeoff maneuvers and set up for the knife edge. It'll be a standard show, as expected. A couple of briefing notes. I changed the date and time for the mission, keeping the weather the same, so that way during the high alpha we're not staring into the sun.
Nice. I've been practicing staring into the sun with repeated HUD, but it's less fun.
One, it's less fun. Two, I found that it's nearly impossible to keep that thing on. I'm sure we could do it, but I just decided, let's not give ourselves an extra challenge when we're in this degraded state right now.
Yeah, we were flying a lot. I was able to do it with the that was how our high alpha video was.
Yeah.
But I'm not as good as I was then.
A couple of other briefing points. For the posing MRT, we are going to come in at 500. We should just clear the mountains behind. We'll probably drop down into it a little bit, so it'll be a pull to level before I hand it to you. And then we'll drop back into the box, aiming for a 250 cross. At least my altitude is going to be shooting for 250. In regards to vertical pitch, is going to be at 50 feet. Then the delta roll and delta roll fleur-de-lis, both of those are going to be fairly. There's going to be a decent amount of adjustment in the middle of those due to terrain. So specifically for the delta roll, it's going to be a climb away from the crowd on on the exit from the burner 270.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's that little hill behind crowd.
Yeah. So that means we're going to be turning and then diving back down into the box for the delta roll. So it's going to feel a little funky compared
Cool.
to what it usually is.
Okay.
But because of that, we start it high and we end it low, so the roll's going to be fairly slow. I'm going to start it off very slow, and if I need to progress, I'll just keep progressing the stick. But expect that the roll itself will start fairly slow and then, make the adjustments that you usually need to make with it, feeling like it speeds up in the middle. As far as the turn for the fleur-de-lis, that turn is also going to be climbing because there's no visibility into the box from below about 1,000 feet when you're like 3 or 4 miles away. So
Yep.
we're going to turn and drop back into it for the fleur-de-lis. Um, the fleur-de-lis behind the crab feels real long, and then you have to drop down into it as well for the over the top for the solos.
Got it.
So that's going to feel like we're on the knife edge a lot there. Probably a decent amount of pull as well. And then
That's
we're
good.
going to be easing the pull for a lot longer than we usually do before we go up because we end up we have to get over the field for a while before we climb. So don't expect it to be as smooth as it usually is. Let's see. In regards to the Delta pitch up break to land, that one we're going to be hanging out at about 1,500 feet throughout most of the turn, and then we'll ease some pull and add a little bit of come further right to drop down into the box. I've gotten it to work well the last couple times, but knowing me, I'll probably screw it up this time. So we'll see how it goes.
If you're high, just stay high.
Yeah, absolutely. Aside from that, we will go well clear on. We'll hold short. We'll hold short India on landing, and then we'll go. We'll do a left covered wagon and go well clear on Charlie for individual left 90s into the chocks.
All right. Sounds good.
Any other questions?
No questions for me. A couple of briefing items on my side. First off, weather is winds are calm out of the northwest 048 for 4 knots. Broken layer at 7.5, another at about 18, and then scattered above at 32. You changed where the sun position is, so you know where that is, but I'm hoping it won't be in our faces, which would be great.
That'll be behind crowd. Sorry, in
Um,
front of crowd. My bad. The sun will be in front of crowd for this show.
Good to know. Okay. So far the scattered at 7.5 has not been over the box. Hope it stays that way. Yeah, briefing items on maneuvers that I lead. For both the section high, for both the inverted technical roll and the section high alpha, I will be setting up on the taxiway away from crowd as my center line to give proper spacing and to give a little extra room so we don't crowd violate. So just so you know, I'll be setting up outboard of the center point, which would be right down the runway. So if I'm doing that and you notice it, I'm doing it on purpose. And I will also be setting up on that taxiway for the loop break cross as well, because I found that I tend to drift back over the
Yep.
crowd. So we'll just keep it that way. That means that the outbound heading, that first call will probably not be representative. So the half-mile mark call on the loop break cross outbound for the half Cuban, because we will be we'll probably be 2 to 3, 0.2 to 0.3 away from center point, even if we hit like dead on the center.
Requesting first call be 1 mile.
Okay, sounds good. Let's see. Clear altitudes. There's a slight rise front crowd left, which is the inbound heading for boss, at least the way that we're doing it. bus should be coming, or whatever, my inbound heading, and so I'm gonna do 200 for my flight level on the cross of the loop break cross.
Copy, I'll be 350.
There will be a climbing turn for the Delta breakout. That turn will be kind of a wing over Chandelle kind of thing. So similar for the visibility. I think that's it. There's a good reference point for the 4-mile turn in along the show line. Let's see, what would be left? Crowd left?
Yeah.
And it's this like industrial park thing, some warehouses. So if you happen to get an eye on that, that can maybe help you in the left turn in for the fleur-de-lis.
Yeah.
Because I was having the same problem as I was doing fairly flat fleur-de-lis. I was like, I have no idea where the field is, but I see that warehouse thing, and I know that I should be, if it's on my left wing, then I'm way behind it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Other than that, I think that covers everything on my end.
All right, 2 more notes for me. Good reference for behind the crowd 2 miles is putting your jet like 1 jet further away from crowd from the second mound behind the crowd. If you're heading crowd right. So there's 2 mounds back there. If you go past the second one by a jet, by like a wingspan, that's about 2 miles behind the crowd.
Good to know.
For the Fortis, it's going to be. I'm going to actually I'm going to roll us out. I'm going to aim to roll us out a little bit behind show line, but pointing outward. I've noticed that there's when I get inverted, I end up getting pushed towards the crowd. So. Oh, no, sorry, I got pushed away from the crowd. So, sorry, correction. It's going to be lined up outboard of show line, facing the crowd a bit. And then when I get inverted, it should push me onto show line. So that's been working the last couple times.
All right.
So, I don't know why that... I mean, I do know what that is. It's the wind. But it seems to affect me more when I'm inverted dirty, which makes sense.
Or not, it shouldn't, but yeah.
But when I tried to fly it online, I ended up about a 1/4 mile outboard. So, yeah. Winds aloft do push you towards the crowd, so as you said, set up. Vertical pitch, we'll just live with it, but everything else, set up on that taxiway outboard.
Yep, sounds good.
Okay. If there's nothing else...
There is one other thing.
Okay.
Your goals for the show.
My goals for the show is to fly a safe and controlled show, not to get behind it, and to not change what I've been doing for leading just because you're on my wing. I need to be consistent. Your goals?
My goals are to stay well clear for form and try to fly that smooth, and to, in particular, for maneuvers I'm leading, make sure that I am on a good heading and I'm flying smooth lead, not too many corrections.
All right, well, let's go out there and have a good show. Ready, break. I'm going to switch inputs here.
Yep, same.
Feel free to join the server and let me know when you're in once we switch inputs, and I'll get the streams up and running.
Cool. Yep, I'm clear. I'm loading into the server. Just gotta switch my inputs real quick.
Okay.
Sure, you got me.
I have you and your stream.
Great.
Let me know once you're in the jet and set.
Oh, got my other tag, but it's fine.
It doesn't matter. Getting my cable sorted here.
All right, I'm in a jet and I'm set. Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah,
You're facing 90 degrees away from me.
That'll change in a second. All right, Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, mark.
Nice.
Yeah, the sun position's definitely different.
Yep.
Alrighty, advise when ready for startup.
We're ready.
Battery on, APU on, standby canopy.
Flip.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby right engine crank. In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby right engine forward. In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby left engine crank. Uh-oh. That's going to be a problem.
What's up?
Left engine crank in 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby left engine forward. I tightened the screws that hold the
Flight control.
in 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby FCS. Oh, didn't even help.
What?
FCS in 3, 2, 1, mark. In test.
In test.
That might be a problem when we get flying, so.
You tightened the screws that I assume you're talking about your throttle.
Yeah. And it's adjusted how it goes over the detents.
Oh.
Chariot's FCS is go.
I'm
just going to test that real quick. Oh, yeah. I need to loosen those before we get started.
all right.
I should be able to get that done while we're doing this.
While you're DTCing, maybe.
Yeah. Hope I didn't break it. That would be a shame.
I would. I don't think you. I think you'd know if it was broken.
I would hope so. Chariot's IFA is holding DTC and trying to adjust that thing. Chariot CTC is complete.
Lab.
Chariot's up on Treecom 1. Chariot's up on Treecom 1.
Well, that's a tree. Come on.
Discord check.
Check.
I
Good
can
check.
hear you. I heard you in Discord briefly. Can you talk on 3?
Hello.
Still hearing you in Discord.
How about now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
How about now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Mother effer. Hold on.
Alright, Discord check.
Lima Charlie. Takeoff checks.
Lab.
Check your smoke pressure on. Check your trim set. Check your heading. My heading at 258. Check your altimeter set 2988 for a corrected center point elevation of 0 feet. Check your bear warning 0. Check your FCS 12 30 30 30 down 2. Check your fuel seat armed lights out.
Hold on.
What you got there, Leb?
I'm sorry to say, but my DCS has crashed. So I will need to reset.
You alright? I will reset the server. That's a new one.
Yeah, it was related to my joystick, which the reason why I was getting the Discord check wasn't working is because it wasn't reading my joystick. And so I tried to rescan the devices, and it didn't work. It just crashed the game.
Yeah, that usually happens.
All right, I'm gonna try this again. It's worked before. Excuse me. Whew, sorry.
Alright, server's up.
Yep, loading the sim. Such a buzzkill.
That can't be real.
Let's go to focus. What the hell? It's working. Try this again. All right, loading into the server.
Alright.
All right, loaded in. Grabbing a jet. And I'm in a jet.
Alrighty, unpausing in 3, 2, 1, mark.
All right, good. I have a joystick.
Yeah, alright, advise when ready for startup.
Ready.
Battery on, APU on, standby canopy. Lab 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby for right engine crank.
Lab.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby right engine forward. In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby left engine crank. In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby left engine forward.
Roll left, roll left.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby
Flight
FCS.
Flight controls.
Go for FCS.
In 3, 2, 1, mark.
In test.
Chariots FCS is go.
Lab.
Chariots IFA is holding. DTC. Chariots DTC is complete.
UTC complete.
Traits up, Tricom 1.
Oh, Tricom 1.
Discord check.
Good check.
Good check. Takeoff checks.
Lab.
Check your smoke pressure on. Check your trim set. Check your heading. My heading 258. Check your altimeter set 2988 for a corrected center point elevation of 0 feet. Check your barrel warning 0. Check your FCS 12 30 30 30 down 2. Check your fuel. Seat arm lights out.
Lab.
Check your smoke pressure on. Smoke on. Smoke off.
Good check. Good afternoon, Chariot. Updated winds are calm, 048 for 4 knots. Altimeter is 2992 for a correct altimeter of 2988 for a center point elevation of 0 feet and a density altitude of 42 feet above sea level. Chariot squawk 1205. Leb squawk 1206. You're cleared for left turn out of checks, right turn on a taxiway whiskey for left onto Alpha, hold short 07.
Thanks, Lab. Cleared to taxi. Hold short 07. Souls were cleared to taxi. Check your parking brake is off. Trace powering up to 75%. Off brakes now. Chariot's coming left. Give me 2 and trail.
How's it low?
Eads power 68. Let her roll. And Chariot's coming right. Give 2 on the right wing.
Leb.
Soul switching 8 com 1.
Leb.
Chariot's up 8 com 1. Chariot's up 8 com 1.
Leb.
Chariot's adding power to 73. Letting her roll. Reference 25 knots. Some remote shows they'll do the takeoff checks on the roll. Do we want to do that?
Go ahead.
Takeoff checks.
Leb.
Chariot's easing power to 68 and letting it roll. Check your lights are off. Check your landing light is off. Check your flaps are half. Mine are auto. Check your waypoint is correct and in the box showing waypoint 1 at 0.4 miles and climbing. Check your altimeter set to barometric and set to 2988. Check your dispenser's bypass and your seat is armed. Check your heading. My heading at 258.
Leb. I'm sure that's a lot easier when you have peripheral vision.
No kidding. Yeah, for that, I would suggest just loosening up while we do that. BrotherLeb, go, let him rest.
Lab.
Solos were cleared for takeoff. BrotherLeb detach. Right lead.
Let's detach, right lead. Easing power idle. Little brakes. Easy brakes. A little more brakes. We're coming left. Coming left. Okay.
Little brakes. Easy brakes. Little brakes. Brakes. Solos were clear for takeoff. Updated winds are 048 for 4. That's a left headwind. Check your parking brake is off maneuver. Our section takeoff maneuver.
Leb.
Check your parking brake is off. Let's roll up.
Brakes off now. Blowers ready now. Blowers ready now.
See ya.
Ready, hit it.
Curse
smoke on, blowers ready now.
I'll move that, don't worry.
Smoke off. Low clear.
Chariot's clear, 2 miles.
Low clear 1.3.
Souls behind the crowd, setting up the section knife edge pass.
Left.
Correction, opposing knife edge.
Left. 3.5. 4 miles. Mark.
11 on your beam.
A beam.
11 on your take a mark.
Go take it.
Stand by, mark it.
Four miles. Mark 3.5.
Chariot's in for the right knife edge.
Up to the right knife edge. 3 miles. Mark 403. Two miles. Mark 399.
Smoke on.
Connect.
Connect, smoke off. Ready, hit it.
Clear.
Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll.
Clear.
Roll. Chariot's clear, and clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing inverted to inverted rolls. 1.8, mark.
Match. Three point five. 4 miles. Mark.
11 on your beam.
A beam.
11 on your range, take a mark.
Take it.
Stand by, mark it.
Four miles. Mark 360.
Chariot's in for the left inverted.
Up to the left invert. 3 miles. Mark 390.
Thinner air in the summer. Temperature's the same, but the air's thinner.
2 miles. Mark 401.
Ready, hit it. Smoke on.
Roll right, roll right,
Contact looking good.
roll right, roll right. Roll right, roll right.
A little drive. Ready, hit it.
Clear.
Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Chariot's clear, and clear behind the crowd for the Fortis. Coming left, Took's coming down. 355.
Contact.
345, ease more power, a little more pull. Ease and more power, 330, ease in the pull and rolling out. Souls behind the crowd, setting up the Fortis. 330, ease and more power. $320.
You got 2, Chariot.
Chariot, check your landlines on.
Overshoot.
And we're coming left. Coming further left comes the pull. A little more pull. Stand by the gear. Adding power. Adding more power. Set. Coming further left, a little more pull. Slows up the 90 for the Fortis. Gear down, flat stomach, hooks up, ports up.
You're gonna find some hooks up order.
Ease in the pull and rolling out the Fortis. Chariot set, rolling in.
Clear.
Online and low. Center point. Chariot's pushing out.
Clear.
Rolling out. Coming back left. Set. Stand by the gear. Gear. Hook. BrotherLeb, knock it off.
Clear.
Trace clear and clear behind the crowd for the MRT. State 9-1.
Roll state 8 something.
Chariot circling 5 miles for the MRT. And Chariot's turning in 5 miles for the MRT. Four miles, Mark 349. Three miles, Mark 350. 2 miles, Mark 350. 1.5 miles MRT. 1 mile, Mark 350. Burners now. Ready, hit it! Fast entry.
Flight controls. Flight controls.
Ease in the pull, comes the pull. Pulling. Kicking. Chariot's pushing out. Leveling out 1,000. Coming right. Comes the pull.
Contact.
Ease the pull and rolling out. Smoke on. Smoke off. 315 on your 6. $335.
Contact.
Souls around the crowd, setting up the opposing MRT. $345. Adding power, and we're coming right. Comes the pull. Looking for 168. Ease in the pull and rolling out. The opposing MRT online. A little drive. Smoke on left lead.
A little behind. Ease good power. Adding a little power.
Smoke off. Ready, hit it. Smoke on. 380 mark.
Match.
Numbers.
11. Contact.
Contact look good for center point lab.
11.
Merge. Stand by, roll. Pull 40. Stand by, roll. 1, 2, 3, and
Clear.
stand by, roll.
Clear.
Roll. Trace clear, and clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing horizontal rolls. 2.8 mark.
2.7.
Nice adjustments.
3.5 mark. 4 miles mark.
Let me know when you're abeam.
Abeam.
Let me know when you're ready to take a mark.
Take it.
Stand by, mark it.
Mark 400.
Chariots in for the left horizontal rolls.
What's in left horizontals?
On the car clears.
Left. 3 miles. Mark 402. Two miles. Mark 400.
Smoke on.
Product.
Contact. A little pull. Ready. Hit it.
All right, all right.
Good.
Burners. Pull. Stand by. Roll. Burners. Pull. Ease on the pull and rolling out 8.2.
80.
Jerry's coming right and circling behind the crowd for the sneak 2 vertical state 7-4.
Website sub 3. Yeah, broken layer 7.5.
A firm.
Show box still clear.
Did you hit it?
I did not.
Sweet. Try circling 5 miles for sneak 2 verticals. And try turning in 5 miles for sneak 2 verticals. Four miles, mark 0.76.
On time.
3 miles, mark 0.83. 2 miles, mark 0.86.
Pull up, pull up.
1 mile, mark 0.89 full burn.
Smoke on.
Seriously, 9.5.
Ready. Hit it. Stand by. Roll.
Hideous. There's the boy.
Close layer 10,000 and cloud stuff.
Cloud stuff factor, high show clears.
Airshow.
Cherry circling 4 miles for the solo loop. Cherry's turning in 4 miles for the solo loop.
Look clear 13.
3 miles mark. Wings level, smoke on. Adding a little power up. We go a little more pull. Adding power. Adding more power. Vertical 5, 6. Easing power. Easing more power. A little ease. Comes the pull. A little more pull. Ease in the pull. Adding a little power. Go. Diamond Singer. Smoke off. Chariots attach. Chariots attach, boss. A little outboard, but that's fine. Let me know when you're beam.
Beam.
Let me know when you're ready to take a mark.
Go dig it.
Stand by, mark it.
A little slow. Four miles. Mark 440.
Chariots in for the right 4 point.
I was in the right 4 point. 3 miles. Mark 430. Two miles. Mark 400.
On time. Nice. Smoke on.
Contact.
Contact smoke off. Ready, hit it! 1, 2,
Roll right, roll right.
3, 4.
Clear.
Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll.
Clear.
Roll. Trace clear, and clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing vertical pitch 2.2 mark.
2.5. 400. .5. 4 miles. Mark.
Let me know when you're beam.
Beam.
Let me know when you're ready to take a mark.
Dig it.
Stand by, mark it. Yeah.
4 miles. Mark 380.
Trace in for the left vertical pitch.
Left and left. Pitch.
50.
50. 3 miles. Mark 406. Two miles. Mark 4.
On time. Smoke on.
Contact.
Connect. Add it up. Ready, hit it. 60. Stand by, roll, and pull. Power's idle. 45, 40, 35, 30. Horizon. Now 76.
77. Contact.
Contact looking good. A little pull, ready, hit it.
Roll left, roll left.
Smoke off. Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Chair clear, and clear behind the crowd for the inverted takeover roll.
Left's going left. 350.
Contact.
360. 370. Easing power. And we'll roll and out. 360.
You got two, Leb.
Little pull to level 355. Adding a little power. Souls behind the crowd setting up the inverted tuck roll.
Try it. Oof,
Come
it's
on.
been a while. Holy cow.
We're coming left. Coming further left. Comes the pull. A little more pull.
That's a good laugh.
Souls to the 90 for the inverted tuck roll. A little further left. We're easing the pull. Rolling out the inverted tuck roll.
Try it.
And up we go. Ease a little power. Ready. Hit. Aboard.
Smoke on.
power. A little drive ready. Hit it. Clear.
Spark off. Stand by, roll. Pull to 10 degrees. Stand by, roll. Rolling out. Coming left. Connect.
Ease the bolt. Roll and out. Coming left. 340. Underneath you. Maintain your spec. 360. 370. 380. Easing power catch. Rolling out.
Got too low.
Easing low power. Souls behind the crowd. Setting up the section high alpha.
Chariot.
A little drive. Coming left. Easing power idle coming further left. Comes the pull. Stand by the boards. Board. Little more pull. Slows to 90, setting up a section high alpha.
Chariot.
Will not touch a bank. Stand by the boards. Boards. Adding a little power, rolling out the section alpha.
Chariot.
Little angle.
Easy with the nose. Easy
Easing
with the
power.
nose.
210, 35. Total pull to level. 200. Using more power. 190. 180. 170. A little more pull. 160. 155. We'll pull. 150. A little more pull. 145. 140 pull. Onto the set. Set it. Adding a little more power. And we're flying it.
Center point. Wave it off.
Pull to 60. Coming left.
Chariot's breaking left. 310. 325.
Line. Contact.
340. Ease and power. 345. Ease and some pull. 350. 360. Ease and more power. 365. 370, ease in the pull and roll it out. Souls around the crowd, setting up the section breakout.
You got 2 Chariot.
Chariot. Don't look. Do your thing. And we're coming left. Coming further left comes the pull. A little more pull. A little more pull. Souls are at the 90 for the section breakout.
Leb.
Ease in the pull and rolling out the section breakout. Go line arrest.
Leb.
Little inboard. Easing some power. Smoke on. 1.5 mark. 5 fast. 1 mile mark. Half mile mark. Ready. Hit it. Smoke off. Stand by. Roll and pull.
Contact.
Ease the pull. Rolling out. Easing power to hold 360. 5-degree climb.
Contact.
Delta's behind the crowd, setting up the Delta roll. Chariot 4.4.
Leb 4.5. You got 6.
Boss coming left. Coming further left comes the pull. A little more pull. Delta's in the left-hand turn for the Delta roll.
Leb.
Delta's up on 90 for the Delta roll. Easing a little power. Easing the pull. And rolling out the Delta roll. Smoke on. Up we go. A little more pull. Okay. Rolling out comes the pull. Ease in the pull to level. Coming back left. Coming further left comes the pull. A little more pull. Delta's in the left-hand turn for the fleur lee.
Leb.
Easing some pull, rolling out some bank. Smoke off. Coming further left.
Clear. Shift it.
Easing the pull and rolling out the flirty. Up we go, adding power. Smoke on. Ready to break.
Ready to roll.
Smoke off. Stand by, roll. And pull. Got it.
Rolling out.
Chair's clear, crossing your nose at 470 now.
Contact.
460 and holding. Little more pull. Coming further right comes the pull 460.
You got 2.
A little more pull. Smoke on. Ease in the pull and rolling out. Up. We go a little more pull. Okay. Set. Contact. Okay. Set. Smoke off. Go get him.
Clear. Marking 245 at 2,380.
Contact.
And we're coming right 400. Coming further right. Comes the pull. Ease a little power for 10. A little more pull.
My friend likes to climb.
390. Delta's in the right hand turn for the loop across. Boss 200.
Chariot 350.
Ease in the pull. And rolling out the loop break cross.
Chariot got 6 boss.
Boss. Adding power. Adding a little more power. A little pull to level. Ease in that pull. A little drive. Adding more power.
Take it in.
We're 100 high. Up we go a little more pull.
Clear return. PIO, man. Okay. Loosen up. Clear return.
Vertical 6.5. Ease a little power. A little ease comes the pull. Right. One right.
Very nice, very nice, very nice.
Smoke up. One mile mark 420. 1.5 mark 400. 2 miles mark 402. 2.5 mark smoke up. 3 miles mark up we go for G mark. Vertical 4-6. 8 alpha. Horizon now 7-6. Easy power idle. 40, 50, 55, 60, 65. Rolling it. Hair steep. And leveling the nose 2.8. 2.5 mark 410. 2 miles mark 400. 1.5 mark 404. 1 mile mark 400. 0.5 mark 398. Smoke. Up.
Cheers, sir.
Clear.
Cheers, sir.
Rolling out. Coming left. 380.
Contact.
370. 360. 350. He's a little power catch. Rolling out. 3 350.
Overshoot.
And we're coming left. Coming further left. Comes the pull, easing power. .340. Delta's in a left-hand turn for the Delta breakout.
Chariot, you got 6 miles.
Boss. A little further left. Easing power. Needing more power comes the pull. Easing the pull. And rolling out the Delta breakout smoke on. We're about 5 right. A little pull to level. Adding a little power. Up we go. Ready to break. Set. Smoke off. Clear.
Turn clear, 246 at 313, 1300.
Contact.
330, easing some power. Coming right. Coming further right. Comes the pull. 335, adding a little power. $350. $360, easing power. Souls are in a right-hand turn for the left pitch of break to land. $360.
You got 6 balls.
Boss. We're at the 90, smoke on. Coming further right. Comes the pull, a little more pull. Easing the pull and rolling out. The Delta left. Pitcher break to land.
Left break.
Easing some power. Easing the pull to level. Ten fast at the numbers for the left pitcher break to land. Center point, boss breaking.
Left break.
Ease of the pull. Rolling out, 105.
Rolling out 105.
Smoke. Off. Gear and flaps. Chariot's coming left, 280 lab. $260 lab. $240 lab. $220 lab. Charts at the 90. Gear down. 3 green. Stagger is left.
Left gear down. 3 green.
200 lab. $180 lab. $160 lab. $140 all the way lab.
160. 140 all the way. Little angle.
Sure, it's okay. Holding short of India.
Lab. Labs. Okay.
Boss, landing checks.
Lab.
Check your smoke pressure off, check your tabs, check your flaps auto, check your land lines off, reset your trim and save your seat.
Lab.
We'll go well clear on Charlie for individual left 90s into chocks.
Lab.
Check your parker brakes off, chairs powering up to 72%, off brakes now. Stand by cover wagon, chariots coming right, give me 2 on the right wing.
Do what you need, Chariot.
Nice flight, Lab.
Nice flight, Chariot.
You know, for first one back in the saddle in a while, that actually was not horrible.
I'll take it. Soul's rain, boss.
Stand by cover wagon. Ready, split. Reference 25 knot cover wagon. That's not going to be great. I like the sun better this direction.
Yeah, a lot better.
Late in the show, you wouldn't be able to see the runway.
Yep. Well, it was a morning show, so the sun was going to get higher in the old version.
Tracy, use the power to 68 and let her roll. Little brakes. Easy brakes. Off brakes now. Come left, go well clear.
Left.
Little brakes 6. Little brakes 4. Little brakes 2. Off brakes now. Come and left. Little brakes. Easy brakes, little brakes, brakes. Stand by for canopy and engines.
What?
In 3, 2, 1, mark. And that's a show. Alright, I'm going to shut her down and come up from under the hood. BrotherLeb, you got me?
Yep, loud and clear.
Alright, give me 1 sec.
Yep.
Do you got me now?
Still
Cool.
gotcha.
And the stream still got you. That's all good. Alright, yeah, well done tonight, for sure. Let me get the sim up and running native style and get us the maneuver manual. And we'll start our
You know,
debrief.
for not having flown in a long time, that's one of the better shows I've flown in the last 2 months.
I'll be honest, my form flying at points was hot trash, and at points was the best I've ever done it.
Yep. Same.
And that just tells me that we're getting in our heads too much.
Yep.
Sometimes just feeling it out works best. Oh man. Good. That's good. That's a good reminder. All right. Let's get going with the debrief. Nice flight today, Leb. I'll start with let's see. We're doing a walk through the whole thing still, right?
Yeah, I think we should. Yep.
Okay.
Because you brief everything, and then the safeties are just the big things. At least that's the way we've been doing it the last couple times.
Right. Okay. So we start with goals, do safeties, and then we do everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
let's do
split
safeties
up the
during,
safeties and everything, but I think if you can think of safeties off the top of the
I usually can't.
dome, then that makes sense.
All right. Let's go over goals for the well, okay. I'll just start my own. Yeah. Glad to be here. I would say that there were a couple of safeties during the show that I'm a little bit concerned about, but overall, for the first show being back in a while, and the fact that we don't take it slow when we come back, that was actually pretty good. My goal for the show was to just fly a safe and consistent show and to not adjust anything for you being on my wing, and I think I accomplished that. I think I accomplished that goal. That goal today. So in regards to the walkthrough, we had a slight hiccup with your stick. But I definitely made a mental note not to let that get to me or anything like that. So I went into the actual flight feeling, top notch first try. So that was good. Taxi was good. Briefing during the taxi was kind of fun.
Yeah.
And we just went right onto the runway. That was new. I know we didn't brief it, but it was just something that I tried when I was doing one of the practice shows, because I didn't have a lot of time. And so, since you said you were good for it, I just had us go and try it. So that worked out well.
That worked. Yeah.
So that's something we can do if we have a short amount of time in the future. One thing I do want to note there is that we still need to go with our procedure of having the back pilot call the turn on the runway.
Okay, yeah. When you said I had lead, I was like, well, he might not call this turn, so I better just call it.
No, I get that. I call right lead regardless whenever I release you. Or I call your lead whenever I release you, even when we're parked and roll on. So it's just part of the... Yeah. Well, actually, no, I don't, do I?
No, you don't.
Oh, well, that was a mistake.
Well, it's good to have me leading, though, because I actually do have to make the turn.
Yeah, so...
But that's fine. As long as it's briefed, I'll know that you need to make the call.
Well, we should talk about how to hand the lead back then, I think.
Uh-huh.
Well, we don't hand lead explicitly every single time we do a maneuver either.
Nope,
so let's just do it where back person's going to call the turn.
Okay, yeah. Whoever's in back always calls turn.
Yep. And if they don't call the turn, then the front pilot should essentially evade.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what's happening and it's time to escape.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So on to the. Oh, I should probably show you what I'm doing here. Share your screen. Why can't I just show screens? There we go. My goodness. Okay, no, that's wrong. Turn on camera. Here we go. Okay, there we go. Alright, here we are. It's been a while since we've done this. Alright, the dirty takeoff was good. One mistake I made was, on the pole left, over the crowd, essentially, that we're still doing. I'm not supposed to release the pole before I roll and pull into the vertical. And I did release the pole before I pulled into the vertical, so that meant that I was way further crowd left than behind crowd than I usually am for the setup for the knife edge. So, not a safety, just a mistake. I'll fix it for next time. Knife edge, I called it a little early, it feels like, based upon our cross. I'll be interested to see how that looks on the replay. Usually when it feels early, it's actually been on time. Or like a decent timing, so we'll see how that looks. Not a safety, but something to look at on the tape. Inverted to inverted roll. My inverted was really sloppy. I discovered partway through the show that my stick position was very close to me, which meant that I was like curling my wrist a lot to fly, and so that made a lot of my flying fairly unstable. So that's something that I'll fix for next time, for sure. Which will hopefully resolve this inverted to inverted instability. Aside from that, the rest of the maneuver is good. For this, I set up outboard of show, but I didn't want to bring us back across too much, so it just ended up being a little bit outboard, and I didn't call that. I said that I was online, so that's a huge mistake for me. It's not a safety, but it definitely affects how you set up your visual, so that's something that I will fix for next time. Clear was fine. A little bit over-rolled on my rollout, so that's a safety, and I'll fix that one for next time. But other than that, good maneuver. Minimum radius turn. Something about it being in the summer versus in the fall like it was before has affected the performance of the jet as far as like the power is concerned. So this just took a little bit longer than I was expecting, and I was a little bit slower coming out of it than I was expecting. But all that being said, I think it's going to look really good. So, no safeties there, just a little bit surprising, and the clear was fine. Opposing minimum radius turn. I think we did the right thing with having you deconflict, but I'll be curious to hear your thoughts on that when we get to this point. In your debrief as to whether we agree.
You're talking about the rejoin after the MRT?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Just want to make sure that we're thinking about the same thing.
As to whether or not we agree that that was the right course of action. As far as the opposing minimum radius turn itself, that was actually pretty good. I think I pulled, well, yeah, it was, it felt like we were really far away from the crowd, but that was like minimum separation for the cross, so that kind of is what it has to be in that regards. Because otherwise, like, I didn't want to be any closer to you on the cross than I was. So, yeah, I think actually it was pretty good, though. Our timing seemed decent. No safeties there either, and the rolls were decent at the end. Opposing horizontal rolls, I was doing a lot of things to try and get on timing with you for this, but I think I got there. And then, yeah, the rest of the maneuver was fine. Sneak pass was good, nice and low, nice and flat, good timing and everything, felt good. Line abreast loop, probably one of the best I've ever done it. Felt really smooth. I've been making some adjustments to that based upon listening to Boss's calls at a couple of different show sites, and I think I'm getting it more on parameters than it ever has been up to this point, so continuing that refinement, and it's working out. The 4 points, I'll take a safety here. I didn't ever get fully inverted for my 4-point roll. It's the first time for everything, and this is the first time that's happened, so it actually had me coming towards you a little bit. So that's a safety that I'll take, and I'll fix it for next time, make sure that I get inverted. Clear was fine. Vertical pitch. This was also very good. Yeah, we were at a good altitude, good cross height, good speeds up the hill, decent coming down the hill. We probably crossed about 2 right, and that's because I was carrying 410 coming into the box. So I'll fix that for next time. Inverted tuck over. We were outboard, but also like a little bit flat on the angle, so that made it hard to hide the jet. And also, I quite frankly was like practicing your parameters and not mine when I was doing my practice shows. So I never cited where I decided the crowd was going to be. So that meant that I was kind of guessworking it as we were doing this maneuver. So I'm guessing that there's not going to be much hiding of the jet going on for this one. Also, I got ahead of you before center point because I completely misunderstood where the visual center point was. So I would call that a safety, because at that point, like, you're not looking at me at all, and I'm ahead of you. So I'll fix that one for next time for sure. Also, on the clear for that, I ended up getting above you when we rolled out. That's definitely a safety, and I need to make sure that I'm deconflicting with you as lead of the maneuver. I should never lose sight of your aircraft. So if that means that I don't do the rollout and I push away, that's what I got to do. But I need to make sure that I keep eyes on your jet. So that's a safety that I'll fix for next time. Rejoin for the section high alpha was real sloppy on my part. That's the first time I've flown forms since last time we flew, and it showed. I was not smooth on the controls at all, and it took me a little bit to get in. But once we got in for the section high alpha, like into the turn and everything, the muscle memory started to come back, and I started to get in that zone, and the rest of the maneuver was golden. Rejoin for the burner 270 in the section breakout was pretty good. We were 10 fast. So I'll fix that one for next time as well. We were also coming from behind the crowd to in front of the crowd. So that means that I had too much pull in the turn coming into it. So those are 2 things that I'll fix for next time as well. Delta roll was nice and slow. And that was because we were still doing 365 when we started the roll. So I noticed that. That means we're carrying more speed, which means that the roll gets slower at the top of if we start at that speed at the top of the hill. Because otherwise you roll too fast and then you're just like, you roll out at like 3,000 and it looks bad. So very slow roll, and the level out was good. Honestly, is a pretty good parameters one, considering the fact that we start fairly high for that maneuver at this show site. Turn for the fleur-de-lis was pretty decent and need a little bit of pull at the end, and then we eased out and rolled out for that maneuver. We were slow, so I added a little bit of power coming into the box. I'd like to not do that in the future, so I need to remember to add a touch of power when we start going into the turn for the fleur-de-lis before. So that's something I'll fix for next time. As far as the rejoin from the fleur-de-lis to the loop break cross, the solo rejoin over the top was pretty good. We were hauling the mail, and so the roll and the overtop was kind of slow, and the holds are fairly long, but nothing too out of the ordinary, and looked pretty good. Loop break cross. I flew really good form up until the up we go, and then I got massive PIO for the first time in a long time. So I just like kept easing it out, and I was able to rejoin by the time we hit the vertical, and was able to follow you over the vertical. I was about 3/4 of a mile ahead of you on the outbound, and then a half a mile behind you on the inbound, so had to check a ton of speed in, but we ended up crossing on time, so all that's pretty good, but I'll try and fix my timing on the outbounds for next time. The head-on. The rejoin for the Delta breakout was a disaster for me. I was just carrying too much speed. I didn't bleed enough off in the turn, and I overshot and got in front of you. Something I should never do, and it's a safety I'll fix for next time. But once I got onto your wing, everything was fine and very smooth, able to fly in right next to you, and we were good. I pulled a little bit too hard on the breakout to 0.2 over, so I'll fix that one for next time as well. Let's see, the pitch up break to land. This is more or less what I expect it to be. It's just you know, that the thing that you don't expect when you've been doing a pull for so long is how much it feels like you're pushing to flatten it out. But it's not push at all. It's just neutral stick. It just feels like push when we get onto that flat when we get rolled out for that. So that's just a hard muscle memory thing to like remind myself, because you know, if I go past horizon line, then we're just going to keep climbing. There's nothing we can do about it. So that's just a reminder to me to ease out more of the pull as we're rolling out, so that the ease out the ease of the pull at the level is less drastic. So that's something that I'll fix for next time. Landing was good. Taxi back was good. No complaints there. I'll fix my safeties, and I'm glad to be here.
Thanks, Chariot. Nice flight today. My objectives were to fly smooth form when I was in formation and to fly smooth lead when I was flying lead. And I think I more or less did those. I'll give myself a solid B. Yeah, we'll hit maneuvers. Even when takeoff was really good. This pancake flat over the top. That was solid. Knife edge felt pretty good. I was able to keep good side of view, and everything felt like it was pretty safe. Clears were good. Over rotated a little bit on the first knife edge, like roll to the left knife edge on the clear. And so that was, it got better as the show went on, but that was a sloppy thing that I can improve on. Invert to inverted, I'll take my first safety here on the, so the first inverted, and then we do the roll, and then the second inverted, I did not really push at all. So I was falling towards the earth. Unfortunately, the roll was quick enough, and I was able to catch it in the roll, but that's a big safety. I need to remember to give drive to make sure that I'm not heading toward the ground once we're inverted the second time. Rejoin was pretty good. I overshot. I felt like I was trying to do it without using the speed brake, and so I was like full neutral and cross controls, hoping that would slow it down, but it didn't, because you were slowing down also. And so I eventually had to put in speed brake, and it was a pretty big overshoot, but I was able to collect it for the Fortis. I was in a different spot than I normally am, but it was a better spot because it was probably one of the better Fortises, at least as far as like being with you on both of your rollouts. Like when you rolled in for the maneuver and then when you rolled out for the maneuver, it was like very easy to get where I needed to be and to maintain it. There was a point in the middle of the maneuver where I moved to my standard just forward of you spot coming towards center point, but I left off too much power. So by the time we hit center point, I was a little bit behind you. So I don't think the illusion is going to work like I intend it for it. So that's something to just remember. It's like my power setting was a little sloppy there. MRT, the rejoin, yeah, you being slower threw me off a little bit, but I've been in that spot before. I was pulling at a different rate than you were pulling. You kept moving aft on my canopy, and I was like, I don't really know how to fix this. And so eventually I rolled out early because I had reached the heading, and I knew you were going to be behind me because I reached the heading before you called the rollout. So I was like, oh, I'm probably ahead of him. And then I called that I was behind. You said I was behind me. And I think in a situation like that, I should probably deconflict, because if you give me where you are, then it's like, all right, well, I have to fix it now, because you like changing your power settings or anything doesn't make sense. Honestly, what I probably could have done, well, no, because I needed to stay out of your way. So I think we probably made the best decision. Like we made the best out of that bad situation that we could. So there's a big safety there that like I was crossing your flight path on that turn, and I think I just had too much pull in and I was going too fast. And so that is probably why that happened. Yeah, I was a little ahead of you as well, which is I'd rather be more a beam so I can follow you through the turn instead of being ahead of you like I was, but it's such as life. No, not such as life. It's a safety, but I need to improve that. Yeah, but we were able to collect it for the opposing MRT. I was able to get in position pretty well, keep it smooth. It felt like the actual hit for that, and then the move, like the comeback towards center point, we were on the numbers. Might have been just a touch low, and I think we're going to cross just a little right.
Yeah.
But it was pretty good, and the rollout was fine. Horizontal rolls. Yeah, you mentioned you were doing things with the throttle. I don't remember what happened on the inbounds for that, so that's probably on me. If you have to do a lot, that usually is my fault. Might have been slow on the 4-mile mark, or my speeds were weird. I think that one, my speed was slow at the 4-mile mark, probably. There was at least one where the inbound I was like 360. So that's probably that one, but made it work. Altitudes were pretty good. Rolls were good. For the horizontal rolls. Sneak pass to vertical roll. Timing was good. Rollout was good. I was a little bit behind crowd left, but still not too bad. In position for the 4-point. Little slow, and I knew it. I should have corrected for that and anticipated that for the 4-mile call, because I was at about 5 miles when you called, let me know when you're beam, and doing 250 knots. And I've flown this maneuver enough that I know you can't make that up, or I can't make that up. Like there's no way I'm going to get enough power and come down the hill fast enough to be able to get to 4 miles at any kind of reasonable timing. So that one's on me. But we made it work. 4-point roll, mine was really good. So I did notice that it felt like we were closer to each other than we usually are in the inverted, but the maneuver goes so fast that it didn't, like, I didn't know that you had made that error you mentioned until you mentioned it, because it was like there's too much going on, and the fidelity of the sim's not quite high enough to see what the other guy's doing. Vertical pitch was great. I made a couple of adjustments as I've been flying the maneuver on my own, and then just kept those. And that was once we're coming back down the hill, bringing the power back in, because I think I was idle for too long in the past, and I was way behind you typically. It's interesting. You said you were carrying 410. I was probably doing 430 coming into the box. So if we're right, I'm still behind you, and I could still carry more speed to catch for the center point hit. Other than that, really good though. Tuck over roll. Interesting that you said that you'd like more angle. I can do that, but it felt like there was, so I just need more of a rakish angle than that, which I can do. I'm going to be pointed outboard of the center point. That's just the thing that I'm going to do. Other than that, it was pretty solid. My clear was a little sloppy. I was like trying to figure out where I should be positioned relative to you, and I don't think I was in a good one. But it'll probably look okay, but it won't look clean and polished. So that part of the maneuver still needs work. But as tuck over rolls go, that one was pretty good all the way through. Like the flying in, roll out, the hit for the maneuver, I got pretty flat pretty quickly. So pretty happy with that. Section high alpha, I had to do a little more correcting to get on the lineup I wanted in the latter 30 degrees, like the last 30 degrees of the turn in to center point. And so some of your form flying woes may have been affected by that. So I would prefer for it to be a smooth, consistent turn all the way through, and I didn't quite set it up well. That said, once we got into the profile, it was pretty solid. There's a little bit of like behind crowd to forward crowd drift in the last like past center point.
Yeah.
So and I'm not quite sure why. It felt like I had things set, and then the jet just decided it was going to go over there, which is probably something I'm doing, because there's not enough going on in the sim for it to be like a draft or something. So I don't know, but that could be better, because that's dangerous to be heading toward you. Clear was fine. Rejoin was fine. Rejoin for the burn 270. I didn't fly as close to you and flew basically a different position instead of trying to fly your wing. which worked out really well for the rollout. Normally I have all these problems where I'm like trying to catch the rollout while I'm on your wing, and this time I didn't have them because instead of flying on your wing, I was just flying basically putting like effectively trail. And then on the rollout, I just kept you on the horizon, and it was really smooth. And overall, your leadership flying, your lead flying was really smooth tonight, which I appreciated. Yeah, so the Delta roll, most of that was fine. Climbed over you a little bit on the rollout as per usual, but less than I normally do. Was able to chase you up the hill, which was good. And then I felt like I fell out in the normal spot right about the 90. And then I wasn't able to stay tight in, but I didn't lose too much ground after that, which was good. So as far as being with you and without losing too much from the maneuver, I think I was probably the closest I've been since the new FCS or the new flight model or whatever, the FCS. But it's still got a long way to go to be where I want to be. I feel like I had just barely gotten in the ballpark of where I'd like to be by the time they changed the FCS. And so sort of working my way back to it, but that was fine. The turn for the fleur-de-lis was pretty good. I got a little bit of PIO in there, but I just loosened it up. And then the fleur-de-lis stuff was good. Having you doing like with a full head of steam coming out across my nose makes that rejoin way easier. So I was able to get right in. It was awesome. And then I was just tucked in for that whole thing over the top, which was great. Loop across, a little more pull in the back half of that, like the last 90 degrees of that turn than I would rather. I should have put more in before that, but because I was pointed a little bit outboard, I was afraid to look over my shoulder and like accidentally bump anything and throw things off. So I think that turn in could be a little smoother and a little more predictable, but still I got online and basically where I wanted to be and about as fast as I wanted to be. So, and the rest of the maneuver was pretty solid. When we came over the top, we did drift back toward crowd, but that put us basically on center line. And so I was actually very pleased once I looked over my head and I was like, oh, we are basically right where we want to be. So we were 0.1 right, and just a touch outboard, but not worth mentioning. Is probably on the limit line of the runway as opposed to on the center line. So yeah, that was good. My outbound, I had to fix some speed things. I was carrying too much smash into the 1 mile mark. And because we weren't as far outboard, I don't know that waiting for the 1 mile mark was as helpful because that probably gave you more time to screw up how far away you were from where I was. But we'll see. But yeah, so the outbound was fine. It was a little sloppy. Inbound was pretty good. Clear was solid. And then the Delta breakout, that is, if I can do it that well again, I'm gonna, because that's a pretty smooth, pretty consistent profile. It really helps that there's a taxiway right on the center point or center line, because I can kind of sort of see it. And so I'm able to roll out and get in there pretty well. So that was a good one. Let's see. The rejoin, I did my like 4 rejoin profile, but I kind of got ahead of you. I think I needed to turn in to chase you a little sooner. So we ended up kind of paralleling as you're coming through the turn. So it just took me a longer to get in than it should have. That said, I did a really cool, like, you basically got almost perpendicular to me, and then I was about 200 feet low and rolled and just like pulled into you and tucked in pretty well, which felt cool. Roll out for the pitch up break. Yeah, that thing where you're just easing the pull, I did not catch. So I climbed over your wing at that point. And I know those are coming. I just haven't caught them effectively. So that's something I've got to keep working on. Because those are very difficult. Muscle memory thing you mentioned, muscle memory thing for me too. Same deal. And then the other thing is there's a safety on the landing, where I just like forgot about my left hand once we started the turn. So at one point you called a speed like 240, and I realized I was doing like 220 and dropping really fast, and I was like, Oh, the jet feels a little sluggish. I'm gonna die. So brought the power back in and it was fine. But that was given that I was basically at a 60-degree turn angle of bank and coming through 200 knots. I was very close to a stall, and so worked it out. But I got to be a little more careful with that. And yeah, landing taxi was good. So yeah, I'll fix my safeties. Glad to be here.
Yeah, thank God the F-18's a high alpha jet, eh?
Yeah, no. If we're flying like F4 or something, I'd be dead.
Yeah, the F4 can't make that turn at anything less than 230 coming onto the runway.
Yeah. It gives you a lot more information
Oh
earlier
yeah,
on.
it's screaming
like,
at you in like many ways.
Yeah, F-18, like I had no idea until I looked at my speedo and I was like, whoa, hey, we're a little slow.
Yeah, no, it's funny because with the F-18, like it doesn't talk back to you. Like even when we're doing the high alpha, it doesn't talk back to you.
No.
It's like, I'm fine. Like, but I will say, like, if you put power in when it starts screaming at you, 9 times out of 10 you're fine. Like when when you start to hear the stall horn and stuff.
Yep.
Because this thing has enough power to overcome it, at least on a clean jet. If you're not on a clean jet and you're getting stall horns, you're doing something very wrong.
Yeah, you can get behind the power curve in a heavier jet. I have done this.
Me too.
It's kind of crazy because you're like, this thing has 2 engines. How do you do this? But it does.
Yeah, the 18 is underpowered for what it can carry. That's for sure. Let's figure out where we're going to watch this from, shall we? So here's center point.
Probably. Yeah, I think we can.
Yeah, that'll do. I will likely move these jets before we do the next show.
Okay. Where would you put them?
In front of the crowd.
Not engines pointed towards the crowd.
Yes. No, I'd put them like on the taxiway. That's fairly well, probably
I put them
right
there
on the apron.
Because I was building the file really fast. And
Yep.
These were parking spots I could put them in.
By the way, in this file, I also have put in some Huey spawns, a cold and a hot Apache spawn as well.
All right.
For fun, because
cool.
We've talked about one, it's fun to tour in the Huey, and 2, we've talked about doing Apache work.
Yep. I gotta figure out my CPG stuff. I have some buttons mapped, but I don't remember what they are.
Yep.
Because it was like 6 months ago.
Right.
Be interested to see how this works out. Not bad.
Yeah, it was more or less fine. I had to come back at it a smidge, but...
Same. I was a little late on my coming left.
Right. I'm proud of myself. All of my calls, all of my ground calls were right today. Which, that's not always the case.
Yeah. You're watching me right now, just suppose you know.
I'll watch you until I take off. Everything.
My altitude was like right inside. Basically, you just set it for 6 Gs and then onset, and then just leave the stick there until you get back level. Inverted.
Sorry we didn't say hi earlier, but
Forum JJ, our most consistent supporter.
yep, we keep our debriefs fairly sterile. The Kniff Edge. Fairly sloppy on those rollouts as well. Need to get.
Yeah, my first set was bad.
Yep. All right, come in.
Well right, well right. Well right, well right. Well right, well right. Well right, well right.
Well, that was hot.
Well right, well right.
That was high too.
You're gonna have to use brakes for this one because I'm trying to get us down to 300.
Yep. I should just ignore your speed calls, to be honest. By the time I get there, you're going to be doing 300 regardless. So sometimes I'm like, oh, I got space, and then I get there and I'm like 70 knots over speed.
Nice.
Still hit the jet though.
Yep.
Lost it a little bit right there.
Good catch. Good altitude catch. That was good.
For whatever reason, where I was way easier to catch that than where I've been recently.
Yeah,
Like I was just further behind you.
You're right in the right spot. Like,
Yep.
That's what it looks like when they do it.
Yeah.
So
I just need to be further behind you than I've been. Yeah, I'm just way behind you at this point. I was way ahead of you, but I can't tell. Alright, good.
yes.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. All right, that's another note I forgot. Is like the radio call you gave for when you were pushing out.
Uh-huh.
For some reason, I just didn't understand it, and I didn't follow you up when you did that, which I normally do. So.
All right, MRT. I thought this one was. Actually.
Well, that also explains you're going so slow with the turbo no slow, which is what you need to be doing. Yeah, I just way turned in tighter than you. But I'm looking at you at that point. Yeah. I was really glad that when like I did this kind of displacement roll and you were right off my right wing. It's like if I have to look for it, it's gonna be hard. was good though.
Yeah. Good. Do.
Yep. Other than that, though, top thing is good.
Rolls. Oh, not quite.
Huh.
All right. Still room for improvement.
I would be, but I don't ever review them, so I don't know what they look like. And when we see them on your track files, when we
They're a
do
disaster.
very rarely. Yeah, it's because it's floppy McFlopperson. It did feel just a little low.
Now, I know that in the actual, like, the current blues guys, they don't even go.
That's probably for a timing thing,
Yeah.
because they know where the diamond is, and they're like, we're not going to make it if we wait forever.
Yep. Coming in for the sneak. That's a beautiful tree back there.
Pull up! Pull up!
That was a little slow. Alright. Thought I might be, but I've been early recently, so.
Oh, right over center point. Good angle. Very nice.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that. Huh.
Right. I think it's not the.
No, I don't think so. Stars or something?
Looks like a star.
That's crazy. Huh.
Anyway.
Wild.
Sorry.
So I was taking a peek at the TAC view while you were debriefing your section, and this was an extremely even loop. It looked like one of those like cancer ribbon things.
Yes. Yes. It felt real good in the jet.
Yeah, I think it's to
Gates.
flatten out
Yep.
that over the top
Yep.
motion.
Comes the pull to make sure you get enough pull to make sure you don't hit the dirt. All right. This is where I had to slow down like 280 knots.
Yeah, because I was so slow. On me.
But I made it work.
Oh yeah.
Just didn't want to go. The lower. Right. Noted. And I was off on my own timing here, so That one's not on you. I had to roll us early because we have a... Skip.
That was good.
Pretty dang good.
I will totally take that.
Good flat turn. Pause, nice pop. I'll take it. And watch me struggle with farm flying.
Watch me tumble!
I was struggling the whole way through this turn, and I was like, I'm just gonna try and survive, hiding the jet's secondary.
You almost did there. Not bad.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
I've got an idea of it. Aw. Stuff. Good timing on that.
Get more beam of you. I always blow you. And then...
Ah, that's why I ended up above you. Alright. But still, it's my job to deconflict, so...
I mean, if I'd been co-altitude with you, we would have hit.
Well, you're always... I did see you, like, when we were making the turn, so...
That's good.
I was locked in for this turn. And then... just the jet gets funky.
Yeah. Part of it is because the brakes release at some point.
Yep.
There's just no way to be smooth
There it
anymore with that.
is.
Good catch.
I'm used to it, dude. So one thing I'll tell you about flying the high alpha off of someone, it's really good practice for landing on the carrier. And the
makes
reason
sense.
why is it's all about power management. You just altitude with your angle, with your like stick, and then you adjust aspect with your power management. No, the other way around. Aspect.
Altitude with your throttle and aspect with your...
Good.
I like that spacing too, like where we are relative to crowd. That
Yes.
feels better. Well, we definitely were a smidge outboard because I was pointed a little bit away from the center point. But I'd rather do that again. Yeah. It's just, dang, I love that. That's awesome. It does that real thing too. It's just like there's a second where 6 just sort of chills.
Very nice.
It's so hard to catch. Ugh. Keep working on that.
Oh.
Sloppy. Well, I know what speed you're aiming for,
Yep.
so that helps.
Oh yeah, you're doing more or less my position for when we do the inverted tuck over.
Mm-hmm.
And there's that shot that is in the backstage pass where they roll out for this maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks more or
See,
less like that. That looks
so much,
really
so
good.
much smoother
Yeah.
than it has been.
Yep.
There's not that crazy dip that normally
Yep.
happens.
It's a keeper.
Yep. Well, I just do what you say, so.
Yeah. Timing for that, so fix it for next time.
There's the climb. Catch it. I tried to catch it with rudder too, but there's more pull and more roll involved than I'm comfortable with. Uh-huh.
Yes. Okay. The aspects are correct.
And there's the PIO.
Couple of notes on my timing, but
Mm-hmm. This is a good one. This is a really good one.
good catch. Nice job. That's hard to do. Because I know there's a ton of rudder and a ton of push in that.
Yeah, I'm almost full boot one direction or the other for most of that. There's not as much push as you'd think, but the rudder is definitely a thing.
Yeah, I got glued in for this until... Up we go. But I get locked in right about here. Oh yeah.
Yes.
That was great!
That was really good.
Awesome.
Turns out when you hit your numbers, it looks pretty good.
Oh, yes. Right in the smoke
That
trail.
angle. Damn.
Dude, when you hit your numbers, it looks really good. Yeah. Boosh. About a knot.
I haven't turned this actually. I should roll out right now. Right here. I considered keeping the turn in, but I wanted the spacing. Whee!
I was just like, take your time. There's no rush.
Yeah, when you overshoot like that, just like ease
Plen-
off the pole and
Yep.
let me.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of time to get back in. He's not even close to the 90 yet.
Nice.
I dropped out there to try and get us on plane with the smoke. Almost got there.
Dude, we're right down the money. This is great.
Ooh, yeah!
Pretty good.
It did.
Definitely take that. Watch me right here. It's kind of funky. Not bad. It's actually pretty cool, but I way overshot. Like I should turn in when you're on my wing, and I waited. See there, and then.
Oh, you do this? And I was like, man, that looks like the Seattle video that we have.
It felt so cool. Once I realized I wasn't gonna hit you, it felt really awesome.
And you were like, "You're at 6 boss." I was like, "Cool." I take a look in my mirror, and I see you like sliding in. And I'm like, "That was pretty sick." Yep. Thought it. Let's skip this forward a smidge. Yeah, this is just a tough ingress.
Well, part of the other problem is I was falling underneath you, so when you started to level out, then I had, like, you were easing the pull while I was trying to pull it, like, tighten up back to cut. So that was part of the problem. Right there. Whee! Is that it?
Nope, that's it.
No, right there, right there. Yeah.
A little late. Smoke off timing. All right. Let's find our way. There we go. Hold up. There we go. Welcome to Bodo Airfield.
Who's next?
What is Oh, that was weird. My mic was not picking up for a second. Pretty nice. Okay, not that high. Yep.
little wide. All right, noted.
Also a smidge wide. I turned out too early for that, so that's my bad. Alrighty. Let's go watch him park. Also, something I learned about the taxiing, they never go idle, like, when they're actually parking. They just keep it at 68 and just, slow down with the brakes. Yep. Gives you a lot more control.
Makes sense.
Also, these parking spots are not aligned with each other, so it makes it harder.
I didn't set them. I just put the guys in there.
Yep.
Like in the automatically created ones.
Yep.
All right. Good stuff. Yeah.
Good show.
I will take it. I'll take it.
I think for tonight, I'm gonna stop the
shut off your
stream here. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but unless you want to keep it on for.
No.
Okay.
No, you're good, man.
All right. Well, folks, it was fun seeing you. We'll have a discussion with BrotherLeb at a later date to see whether or not we jump back on. But if so, I'll put up a YouTube event for when that's going to be, just like I did with this one, and we'll see you then.